Hey guys, welcome to our Journal Entry podcast. We're so excited that you're here with us today. This podcast is where we give people a place to be vulnerable and share their hearts and testimonies of God's goodness with others. We're your hosts, Giselle and Emily. We hope you guys enjoy. Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of our Journal Entry podcast.
Whoop whoop, episode 3.
Whoop, episode three. Today is a very special episode because we have our very first guest.
Yep.
And that
our very first guest is, drumroll please, Kieran Frampton. I'm really glad we said that
forgot
at the same
my
time.
name for a sec. It's like
Kieran Frampton. We were waiting for each other to go in at the same time. No, yeah. Kieran Frampton, a.k.a.
Give it up, guys.
Yeah. Round of applause, everybody. Please take 3 seconds in your day to clap.
Please don't.
Thank you. A.k.a. Giselle's husband.
Yes. If you guys didn't know already.
Her other half.
All right. So, Kieran, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, for those that don't know or don't go to church with me, I lead music there sometimes. I am the devoted, our young adults group worship leader. I'm a big nerd for games. I mean, I love drawing and that kind of thing. I'm, for the most part, pretty boring. I like deep conversations, though.
Well, this is the place to be.
And there you go.
I suppose.
So I've
You
heard,
were
but
born
only reference.
just for this
Just for this moment.
Yeah.
After this, you can just go away. We're just kidding. We're
I
just
feel
kidding.
like my life is.
It's just a joke.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
So, what's on your heart?
Well, my doctor's. No, I'm just kidding.
My therapist said I should talk to my friends.
No, I'm honestly recently I haven't had anything like too big really, so to speak, weighing on me, except for I think yesterday I was really like reflecting on the fact that like to make a long story short, I was listening to my music on my phone and stuff I haven't released yet. I have like a handful and tons on the computer. I'm listening to all these songs and like different verses I'm spitting and saying stuff like, I got this drive, I got all this, here I am. I haven't put out a song in months and zero like desire to do anything musically. And I started like kind of wondering like why I have like no desire to do it, so to speak. I was like, maybe it's because I've been in music all my life. Maybe it's because I've always sang, and now I'm working a lot, and I'm married, and I'm tired.
Just sounds very exhausting.
I'm a grown-up.
I have responsibilities. I have a mortgage. But it's like, I don't know. I was like, where did my drive go? It's like talking to God and all like, if I'm supposed to do this, give me my drive back. It's like, why don't you fight for it,
Yeah.
And I don't know. I've really been lacking a drive to do music, just in general, because sometimes I look too far ahead and get pessimistic. Like, if I don't see like a possibility of it, I don't know, blowing up, getting bigger, or any kind of chance, even if it's small, like, then I'm like, what am I doing? If I'm not making it because I want to, I shouldn't make it. Because when I was making it, I really wanted to make music. I was like, this is so fun. It was fresh, I have a mic, I got a recording studio, and I'm making my own beats. Tried to sell those for a while, but just like recording, I kind of lost my drive to do that.
Yeah.
I'm spending like all my energy doing my job and anything else that I can do afterwards, obviously. But not because like it would be a really big problem. Like I'd get really, really depressed and like be hard on myself for like, Karen, where's your drive? This is your fault. Like, just get the motivation to do it. And I don't know. I feel like when I force myself to, I just get harder on myself, I guess, whenever I don't. Because, like, you're right, I should. It's like a disapproving parent. You're like, okay. And then you go to do it, and then it's still not happy. And it's like, I don't know. It's really depressing because then I don't feel like I can encourage anyone to do anything, which is what I want to do. I love encouraging people that are feeling down. But it's like, Karen, you can't even get yourself to do the music you like. Who are you to go encourage someone? So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Just lacking my drive. And I don't know. Like, I have obviously people that will listen to it. And I don't know. I feel like I want my number one priority to be, like, aside from doing it to, like, glorify God, I want to do it because I like it.
Yeah.
I don't want to make music I don't like. And, excuse me, a lot of the music I've made in the past was, like, really emotional. I think I had, like, I've had 2 songs that were, like, a little bit more hype. I Say God and Praise the King. But aside from that, I mean, the people that are watching this, unless they're, like, in my circle, they don't know, but the list of songs I have on my Pro Tools DAW that I just never put out, and, like, I've sent to my sister. She's like, yo, that's dope. When's it coming out? And I'm like, I don't even know. Like,
I have to get back.
I'm still doing a
Still
vibe check with it,
pending.
you know? Like, yeah, it's like buffering.
Please wait.
Critiquing your work.
Yeah, just in case you guys didn't know, he has music out right now on all the major platforms. So if you guys want to go check that out, his name is K Framp. It's KFRAMP. So after you're done listening to this podcast, you should hop on over, tap that search bar and type in his name. Yeah. You guys should do that.
Go bless your ears. A second time after you've already blessed your ears with listening to us.
The word blessing's subjective when it comes to music. No, I'm kidding. I appreciate it. But, yeah, and then it's like, and maybe this is just, maybe I'm overthinking stuff. Like, because I'll lead worship sometimes at the church, mostly with Devoted. Like, I think I know I've led one time as far as, like, a set at Revive. Was this past Wednesday?
Yeah, last Wednesday.
And I was like, but you hear all these people, like, come up and they compliment me, and I'm really, like, appreciative of it. I think they're very, very nice, and I've, like, been working better at, I guess, absorbing, not absorbing, but, like, accepting compliments without being, like, talent's from God. Like, stop. Like, don't compliment me too much.
I don't know how to accept compliments.
No, but for real, like, I would be before. I would be like,
know.
I would legit be like, thank you. And if I heard more than, I would, like, do it in my brain and be like, if they compliment me, like, twice, and, like, they're, like, exuberant, and they're just, it's not like, did a good job today, like, I really like your voice. You're like, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. But if they're like, seriously though, like, I'm like, seriously though.
No, seriously,
like,
stop,
I'm starting
please.
to feel bad.
Please,
Like,
no more.
like, and then they'll be like, they'll say another thing. They're just being nice. I'm not like dissing it in any way, but it'll be like, I couldn't do it without God. And you'd always get that look like, yeah, like, it's like I killed the whole conversation. Like, the whole vibe is going on. It's just like, well, this kid's weird. Like, just accept a compliment. But I have felt so worried because like, you hear that, like, if you have a talent, especially growing up how I did, you always heard, which is a good thing, like, you need to be thankful because just know all the talent you have is not from you, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'd hear that a lot, and I'd be, like, so self-conscious, so I wouldn't ever, like, accept it and be like, yeah, I can sing. Yeah, I can. It's like, God knows what goes on in my head.
Yeah.
As far as that, like, I know I'm able to sing and harmonize and whatever else, but I would never, like, accept it. So, like, I've done better recently. I just have a hard time whenever I'm around people because, like, being very introverted. It's like you think so much stuff in your head. Like, I'm going to say it like this.
Yeah.
This is going to sound so good. I'm going to sound so cool in front of these extroverts. And then they're just like, what the heck did you just say? This is why you're quiet.
So cool in front of these.
I know, it's like, this is why you should remain quiet. No.
Prime example of why you should keep your mouth shut.
Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like as an extrovert, I still find myself like, I'm just gonna sound so cool in front of all these.
Yeah, I do that too.
And then like you say something and they just like blank stare. It's like, thank you. That was so well
And it's like, can you guys show a little bit of appreciation? Because I've been rehearsing this moment for
just even
in my head for
fake.
like 4 weeks straight.
Even in the mirror, I've been talking to myself, just really prepping myself for this moment. Just something, please.
Exactly. I've been working so hard. Like, I'm not an actor, but man, I've been doing a lot of rehearsing. And then we have people that are like, that look, I don't know, there's been a few people that have been like, I'm sure maybe it's not even this many. But like, a few people that are like, man, or what was it? Andrew said it to me, our friend, for those that don't know, a close friend of ours. He was like, Karen, you're so cool. I'm like, you're just nice, okay? Because
No,
Which
you're
is
just
true.
Andrew.
You're just Andrew.
you're just very nice. And he's like, no, like, you know, he went on this, you know, stuff that he was saying. And I was like, I don't feel like there's people that, like, think that, I don't know, I've heard it, you know, from other people, not directly about me, but, like, that people who are really quiet, and I'm not an extrovert, so you guys can chime in, they say stuff like, well, they're so quiet, so they intimidate me. It's like,
Yeah.
because, like, not ones that are, like, you know, passive and shy. And, like, those
No.
ones don't intimidate anyone. But, like,
When they're
If you're
confident.
quiet and shy, we're sorry, but you're not intimidating.
no, it's not a diss. Like, I don't want to be intimidating. I hate that. Because, like, then people are like, I didn't know how to say something to you. I'm like, chances are you could have said anything better than I probably would have rebutted. Because if I'm not expecting to be approached, which I most of the time don't, then trust me, you're not going to say something stupid. I'll put money on it. I'll say something dumb.
Yeah.
But I'd have people like, you look so serious, and I was intimidated or something. Like, I've had it like a couple times before, and I'm like, do introverts really look that intimidating? Like, I know we're quiet. Like, it's just because I'm thinking all the time. I'm not like mad about something. Like, I can't help if I just look mad or like serious. I don't like walk into church like. I'm thinking to myself right now. You can tell. Like, no, I look like I'm freaking out. So I just like, so.
That's funny. I had a boss, currently have a boss, because
I had a boss.
I have a job still. At least I hope.
He's watching this.
Yeah, right. Hey, Nathan. But he told me when I was having just like some frustrations with like another coworker, who like I would like say something to them and then it was just like blank stare, like silence, and like he told me, he was like, you're intimidated, aren't you? And I was like, what? No. I was like, no, I'm freaking annoyed that this person won't respond to me.
It's not getting to me. Oh.
And he was like, okay, so if I sat here and like you were talking to me about something really serious and I just like didn't say anything to you and I waited a really long time before I opened my mouth to decide to say something, he was like, would you be intimidated? I was like, well, yeah. He's like, so you're intimidated. And it is. It's like when you say something and then someone takes a really long time to respond, you just have this like sudden like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What did I just say? Are they going to respond good or bad? What's going to happen? But yeah, like there's like real like science behind that. And then they talk about like, at least in the business world, this is like super boring, but in the business world, they talk about like the power of like silence.
Yeah.
And so like the longer you wait in conversation to say something, or like when you take time to kind of like process like that, like you're thinking, it really makes people nervous in like the business world. And so it gives you like power in the room when you're like in meetings and stuff, because people are like nervous. They're like, oh my gosh, like what is Kieran gonna say in this business meeting? Because there's really no telling. And then like you say it and it's never as bad as they think it's gonna be, but you have like everyone at your mercy. And so it's like There's like power in that.
No more cheap toilet paper.
No more.
That's all that's gonna come out. Okay, when you get rid of the sandpaper in all these commercial buildings. But, no, I've like not that I don't know. I'm thinking a lot, and I do that. I'm not intentional. I didn't even know that. So but I take my time to think about what I'm gonna say. If I don't know someone, like if I'm around you guys, like I know what I'm gonna say. I don't even generally think about it a lot of times. That was your time to chime in and say, yeah, you never think. But you're only getting one, and there's no more. But no, like, because I'm like, not in a judgmental way, but I'm like tearing down, not literally like, I'm breaking down what, like who you are, not like to your core, but kind of a rough idea of like what I'm dealing with. If I've never met you before, like, and you're really hyper and like, okay, like the first time me and just met you, I'm like, she's like really happy. She's really like hyper. It's like I don't feel any kind of like negativity, you know. And this, like, I'm not feeling nervous or weird. Like she
no
seems like
threat detected.
I know, but like
everyone when they meet me, it's like meeting a puppy dog.
But everyone wants a dog.
Yeah.
So no one's like. There's people that like cats and they like dogs too, but most people that love their dog don't always like cats. You know, some people prefer cats. They still have. I've seen them with dogs, but I hate cats. Cats suck.
I'm pretty impartial to cats. Kittens are adorable.
Kittens are anything that's
very fun.
Anything that's like a baby.
Anything that's small.
I say for the most part, yeah. But I feel like I just watched something on Animal Planet. It was a baby, and I was like, that is one ugly animal.
I know, but I feel like even when they're ugly,
it's
they're
cute.
really cute.
Just as long as they're small.
Like, have you ever seen like a baby bird like fresh out of its egg? It's like the ugliest thing I think I've ever seen in my whole life, but also it's so cute.
It's just
like
like
so ugly
small.
that it's cute.
Yeah. That's true.
How did we get here?
I don't know.
Well, okay. Like I was talking about we went from dogs. This is what happens when you know, get that. What's it called? ENFP. It's like dogs. No, but like, yeah. I'm kind of mentally breaking it down, not to like, oh, I'm spotting their weaknesses. Like I see that too, but no, like I'm more so doing it in a way like, how do I need to act right now? Like, they're not very like. If I meet someone who's very reserved, I'm like, I should probably stay away from all dynamic movements, because if they're not, I shouldn't be. But yeah, I go on that long rabbit trail, talking about how I was losing drive. Maybe I just need a schedule planner.
Release on this day. Record on this day.
That's what Giselle was saying. That's what I'm gonna do, because
I'm
losing the motivation.
Pick a night every week. You do something music related. You work on music, and then
that's what we do. That's how we ended up here on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, and it's a great idea, and I need to do that. I like having plans. My thing is like, the one thing I can't knock about myself, which are many things, but the one thing I can't is, I don't know why, but I'm always trying to figure out, like, if there's an issue and I notice it, I want to fix it. And I may be terrible at finding it, and I may like not always have the right like idea at first. I'm like, maybe it's this, but I can't stand being passive about it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the number one thing. I guess I'm glad I'm not to that point, like so apathetic that I'm just like, what's the point? But yeah, no, I've never been to that point. I've been to the point where I'm like, okay, I've tried everything that I can possibly think of, you know, I've dotted all my I's and crossed all my T's, and it's like, okay, God, take care of it. I can't give up. So I have a hard time understanding the mindset of kind of like, when it's not that bad. I know some people just, it's like they have no drive.
Yeah.
But they don't even try to figure out why. They're like, I just don't want to. I'm like, yeah, I feel that too, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, and I get depressed plenty of times, or not recently. I've been very positive lately. I feel like this year has been so much better for me.
Yeah.
Last year was really rough, but I feel like this year I've had like a different mindset. So to that, it does boost my confidence. Like, I don't feel as strong a drive, but I don't feel like hopeless, if that makes sense. I don't know. What do you?
Yeah.
Chime in anything you think, because I'm like, I wanna
Insert
know.
comments here.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I feel like I've definitely like been in that place where it was like I feel like at some point you have to want to grow. If not, you're like staying stagnant.
Yeah.
You know, like at some point you have to be willing to like get up, and if you're not, then like I don't know, like what are you really doing?
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like if you're not willing to at some point just like get up and be like, okay, maybe like I don't feel like doing this necessarily, but like I know that I need to do this because I know that like I know who I am, and I know that this is so closely tied to who I am, and I also know that this brings so much glory and honor to the Lord when I'm obedient to do it, even when I don't feel like doing it. And eventually, like, I feel like after time, it starts to feel a little bit better when you realize that you're not doing it for yourself necessarily, but you're doing it for the Lord, and you're doing it that way.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're not willing to do that, you just get stuck in this loop of like self-pity, you know, of like, woe is me. Like, I'm just so like, I just like don't want to do it, and I just feel so sad. And it's like, this sounds really harsh, but it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, buck up, buttercup. Yeah. Like, come on now, put your big girl pants on, put your big boy pants on, let's go. Like, life and like passions and like the world doesn't stop because we don't feel like it, you know. That sounds really harsh, but
Sometimes
it's like,
that's what you need to hear, though.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like when we like create like accountability or like systems, like I feel like it's okay to, if you're not really feeling it, like one day, like maybe you're like scheduled to like do something for music and you're just really not feeling it. I feel like that's like understandable. Everyone has like off days or off weeks. Yeah. But I feel like you have to get to a point where it's like, okay, I've had enough time off from this. I've had enough time away. I need to just start doing it again. And then once I start doing it again, at least for me, it's always felt a lot better. Yeah. Like when I've had time away, it's always felt a lot better when I've come back. Yeah. And sometimes you just need that. Sometimes you just need to step away for a little while.
Yeah. I think that's really good. I wanted to, as far as like the depression thing you were talking about, I don't think that's harsh at all. Like me and Mike are
young adults.
Young adults. I was trying to find the word. I'm like, it's not youth.
It's not old.
Young adult. It's not old.
Definitely less than old.
But yeah, he was like, him and we were talking about it, like a spell I had last year where I'm just like in this cycle of feeling depressed, and not like I didn't want to tell anyone. I totally doing that. Like besides my people, they're really close to me. I'm not going to tell you because it's none of your business, and that sounds rude, but like I'm not one of those people that if I'm depressed and I'm just
like, well, everyone like, pay attention to me. I'm a sad puppy dog.
It's like I feel bad, like, but it's like we can't fix it. Yeah. Like I'm feeling bad for you. I really am. I know it doesn't sound like it, but him and me were talking about how it's addicting. It's like a drug. And you get stuck in a cycle of self-pity. It's like if you don't ever like address it, like I need to stop it, you're pretty much screwed. Like you're killing your mental if you do that. And like I would get so depressed, and like I think it was, what was it, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, where I was like struggling with that. Like I'd never really struggled too bad with, it had been years and years and years and years and years since. Like the feeling of just like, I think it was 2-3 years ago, I was driving my Mustang at the time, and I don't remember what it was. This is how unimportant that is. My whole point is like, you don't need to get that depressed. It doesn't fix it. I was so depressed, so sad. I didn't want to result to any kind of form of self-harm because I was like, they'll find out, and I don't want people to know that I'm sad. Everyone thought I was happy. I go to church, be smiling, you know, like I'm not going to let anyone know. And I'm driving my Mustang on 95, And I'm like, I got it up to like 110. And I'm like right on the bridge near Stewart exit.
Mm-hmm.
And I start getting closer to the curb. I'm like, I could turn this right off and it'd all be over. And I was like, turn the wheel a little bit more, start going. And then I just felt this like tug back on the wheel. And it's like that little trance I was in where I was like, it's not worth it anymore. It's just like God's like, no, you don't. Like that kind of thing snapping you back.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm letting the enemy get a hold of me to the point where I'm about to run myself off the road at 110 miles an hour. I'm like, what is that going to do to Giselle? She was planning to move down. Well, that was more than 2 years ago. It was probably like 3 or 4. She was planning on moving back down here. I'm supposed to pick her up. She's going through, at that time, way worse than I am. She has to leave all her friends and family. And yes, she wouldn't move down here, but it's like, I felt depressed and had suicidal thoughts. But I was like, I'm not going to tell anyone, because if you know, it's like, there's always people that are, everyone's depressed, everyone's suicidal. It's like,
somebody has it worse than you do.
Exactly.
It's like, you don't feel validated.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how bad is mine really, you know?
And I know you have like tons of stories about it, like not like
for another time.
No, I mean so much like with the people that like people not validating you much in that aspect when you're younger. But I say all that stuff with the whole depression thing, like I don't think it's at all harsh. Like every single time, you can ask Giselle, I've had like a big turnaround. Someone was extremely blunt with me. Massey, the assistant pastor of a church, I was like really being just a wuss. I'm not going to go into specifics of what it was due to my dignity. But like, I was just not being a man. Yeah. And I've never had a talk with Massey at this point where he's just been like he's always honest with me, you know, but he's never like I never had it this harsh. So it was like, ew.
I gotta stay.
Exactly.
Never been ripped apart by your friends before.
But it's like, it's not even like he said a lot. It was just so much like, it was so much stern love. And it was like exactly what I needed, because I'm just sitting there upset. I'm super passive about something. And Giselle's frosted at me because I'm not made
frosted flame.
No. She needed to be like, and then Massey looks at me and he like listens both sides. He's like, okay. So Karen, can I ask you a question? I was thinking, okay, he's gonna ask me about something, you know, like good, like help me out.
He's gonna side with me.
He's like, when are you gonna decide to man up? I'm like,
dang.
I didn't expect that to happen. And it like really, no. It hurt.
Shout out to Massey.
It's kind of like when you get an adjustment and it's really painful, but it fixes it. It's like, that hurts so good. You know, it's like, it really hurt, but not in a damaging way. Yeah. I was like, I'm being a baby.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need that wake-up call. Like, snap out of it. You need to just grow up. Like,
sometimes you need to hear what you need and not what you want.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which is like a big thing.
If all you surround yourself with are people who just baby you all the time and say, oh, it's okay, like, to stay in this place that you're in, it's like,
no, you're right.
Yeah,
it's
like, what are you learning?
Growing.
Yeah,
you're not growing as a person. You're not developing. You're not maturing. It's like you're just stuck in this place.
Yeah. That's why I say, like, maybe this is gonna make it even worse for people that are more intimidated because they know I'm not gonna say that soft stuff. So like, if someone comes to me and they're like, I'm not, obviously if I don't know them at all, I'm not gonna be a jerk. But like. It's like, I'm really sad. Get over it. No, like,
build a bridge.
I don't mean that at all. I'd never say it. But like, yeah, exactly. Build a bridge because you made a tear in the middle, like a river of tears. So build yourself a bridge and get over it. Okay? You know how difficult waterways are to make? But no, like, I feel like if someone literally, like, if I talk to someone, if I talk to you more than once and it's the same thing, like, I'm always going to give insight. If someone's struggling with something, I'll start really gentle, basic at first. I'll go a little bit more next time. But if it comes to a point where we haven't even gotten anywhere, I'm going to put it blunt. And if they don't like it, I'm like, that's why they're still sad. and I know it sounds really, really mean that you're saying, but it's like, not in a judgmental way. Like, I'm going to still pray for them and pray that they receive, you know, but like, some people, they say they don't want to be sad anymore,
but they really
do. They like the attention. They love the attention. And I'm saying that from experience, like, where I used to, like, want attention to an extent, but because being an introvert is, like, only so much. But then, like, after, like, you feel like after you've been, a weird phrasing, but depressed once, you can't be depressed again because everyone's going to think you're faking it. So that's when I never told anyone again. Because I was like, I don't want anyone to think I'm faking it. So I'll just be fake. Good solution. But it's like, they think I'm fake if I be honest. So I'm going to be fake instead. Cheat the system. But, yeah.
Just be fake up front.
Exactly. Put on
Leave
a mask.
no room for assumptions.
Yeah, you can't assume anything if I tell you. No, but I did, like, have positive. Like, I really commend that y'all are, like, doing this podcast and getting it going and, like, bought all the stuff for it. And I know that you had talked about this for a long time. You'd want to do this. Even I think when you were in Texas, you talked about how you loved podcasts. And, like, you're like, that'd be so cool one day.
One day.
But I have
Little baby Giselle dreaming.
just a little jelly. Not little jelly yet. Not the real little jelly. No, but, like, if you know, you know.
If
Go
you
on
know, you know.
Facebook,
Yeah.
Find the video. I'll get it. I'll send it to you if you ask me for it.
Yo.
If you ask me for it.
I'll tag you in it. I have a video of Giselle rapping.
I don't like to talk about my past.
Yeah, she was a singer, bro.
I'll actually pay a high sum of money to have that. If you could just.
You haven't seen it?
No.
No.
Giselle doesn't share anything with me. She also told me about a music video
That is.
Yeah.
that I really would like to.
Little jelly and
have
little
access
naps, bro. That was lit. My Mustang was like the fancy car in it. And, like, bro, they were like sitting on the car like it was supposed to be a funny
I'm not proud
video.
of it.
I am, okay? That was good stuff. You know who had to ghostwrite your lyrics? Me. I had to burp there. Yeah. So I put a lot of time into those lyrics.
I feel like the people of the podcast want to see it, and I feel like to rob them of that would
Just type in little jelly and little naps. You'll
No,
find
you
it.
feel like you want to see it. Don't project that on other people.
I just want
Post in the
everyone who's
comments who's
listening
gonna see
right
it.
now to just comment on every platform you're listening on, and then go on our Instagram page and comment "Little Jelly."
Just go on Facebook, type in little jelly.
Stop.
And
And
little naps.
if you want to see the video, let us know and we'll post it on Instagram. Giselle forgets that I have access to the Instagram, so
Well, we'll find the video.
man.
But the reason I say that is because I want to know what you do, like, for drive, because I feel like you're a lot more driven than I am.
What I do,
Yeah, because you like something and you go after it. I've noticed.
it's just me wanting to try something new. Like, I really love experiencing new things and trying new things that I've never done before.
But what keeps you from getting tired?
Hopping from one thing.
Kyron, just switch a genre every 3 months. Do rock and roll.
I'm not
do
the best
country. Just
person to
rock and roll.
ask this question because I pick up different art. Like,
hobbies.
I picked up art and like right away I was okay. Like, I was decent.
She was really good, you
And
guys.
then I just
She
dropped
was.
it and I moved on to the next thing. I just keep doing that, but I wish I could just stick with one thing. This is why I'm really proud that we're actually sticking
We're
with
really
the
hoping that this
podcast.
sticks because Giselle drops things and I do too. Like probably more so than Giselle does, to where it's like I go like full steam ahead for like years after something, and then all of a sudden I just wake up and I'm like, nah, I don't want to do it anymore. And then I just walk away.
It's like you've done something once and you're just like,
it's like, yeah,
it's not new anymore, so I gotta move on to
like,
another thing.
yeah, I did this for 2
I'm
years.
just kidding. It's not that extreme.
I'm bored.
But
I don't know. It seems like if your wife ever says they want a game with you, it's a trap. Kyron,
you
can
cannot say anything.
you-
I gamed with you for years.
When was that again?
Uses past tense verbs.
So, yes, as it is true, when we were long distance, emphasis on long distance, so she couldn't see me literally, in person, we played games.
Yeah.
It was amazing, by the way,
Yeah.
might I add. But
I'm here now. Why can't you spend time with me in person?
Why don't you guys play board
this
games?
is a trap.
I feel like board games is a good middle ground. Where it's games.
What are you, my grandma?
Yes, actually, I am. And I deserve a little more
What?
respect.
No, pipe down, mister. No, it's
Simmer
like...
down there, buddy.
Okay, okay. I guess the reason I get tilted is not because you were like, you were like...
A little
like
yodeling.
soinks, like soinks. No, but like... Not that you don't play video games with me. No, it's not just. I'm just using this as an example because I want to be funny. I'm not harboring any hate or anything.
Yeah.
At all.
Sure.
Maybe just a little.
So now I know what I want to talk about.
Not totally angry.
No, I'm not
bit of
totally
bitterness.
angry. I'm not all that angry anymore. Dun, 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 dun. But like, I know you jump from stuff time to time.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a meme. It makes me laugh a little bit whenever it's like, it's cute. Like, it's really cute when you're all sporadic and you're like, Karen, I want to play this. I'm like, sweet, awesome, dope. And I like go all into it. I'm like, bro, in a year, we're going to be the same. It's like 2 hours in. Oh, Emily texted me.
Yeah.
It's like, Emily. It's like Dinkelberg. It's like, Dinkelberg. Emily McMahon.
Emily.
It's like, and this is where I'd put my trophy I got for gaming with my wife. If I had one! No. Now someone's going to call me an art kid in the comments.
Anyway.
That's okay.
But anyways, no, like, yeah, it just makes me laugh. It's like, yeah, nothing serious. It just sounds really serious that I'm going to. But my thing is, I noticed that when you are serious about, like, on a serious note, I'm saying serious a lot. When it's something that you're like, oh, guitar. I know you took a break from like playing for a long time, but then you started playing, but you came back to it.
Yeah.
And you started like, when you were singing and like, you didn't even know how to sing harmony and stuff like that, like, you came back to it. So maybe my thing, as my resolve, I guess, is just, maybe I need to look at this as a break, a purposeful break, so that I'm coming back at some point. Because I feel like putting that is my solution in a way. And I feel better.
I, like, what keeps me, like, driven is just, I'm just really passionate about the things that I do, like the podcast. Even though it's, like, something really new, I'm really passionate about it. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and now that I'm actually doing it, it's just, like, it makes me really happy to do something that I'm really passionate about, music. I've always been passionate about music. And I did take a break from it because, like, I got distracted with so many other things, but I always came back to it because I love music.
Yeah.
I love worship music, and I love writing worship music, and that's why I came back to it, and I just wanted to learn how to play guitar better, so out of that I would be able to write my own worship songs.
Of course.
To sing. That's what... really know what else to say
No,
with that.
that's good. Like, I feel I've said everything I wanted to say.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes you just need a little break every now and
Yeah.
then from the things that you love. Because I feel like when you, like, take a break, and I don't know if this is how it is for you, Giselle, but anytime I take a break from something I really love doing, and then I come back to it for the first time, well, one, I remember why I loved it.
Yeah, it's like you're falling in love all over
Yes,
again.
that's exactly what I was
Yeah.
Is
going
that
to
why
say. It's like you fall in
leave
love
the
all
house
over.
for 2 weeks?
She has to fall in love with you all over again every
I mean,
time.
you're too
Guys,
much.
it gets really hard. I'm just kidding.
It's like 50 First Dates. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yeah.
She like, can't remember anything, so he has to make her fall in love with him every single day over and over again. That's kind of sad, actually. But yeah, you just, like, I feel like you find, like, a new love for it. And so I feel like on some level, it's, like, really healthy to just, like, know your limit and be like, you know, I just feel like I'm not doing this for the right reasons right now. So I feel like I need to just step back and maybe like try out some other things. But then I know that when I come back to this, that I'll love it so much more, and that there will be so many more stories that I'll be able to tell through this medium, whether it's like painting or writing or like making music. Like sometimes, like, okay, so like for me with journaling, sometimes I have to take like a little bit of a break. And then when I go back to doing it, it's like, oh my gosh, all of these things that I just want to write about. And I just like pour out all of these different things, like poems, song lyrics, like just prayers, like just random things that just like come to my heart from the season that I was away from it. So there's like new stuff that comes up and it's like, oh my gosh, I forgot how much I loved this. And it's like falling in love with it all over again. And then just like having so much more like material and things to give to it. So
and another thing is maybe look at like the purpose or the reason why you're doing those things, because before, well, now, like whenever I start to like lose interest in the things that I'm really passionate about, and like remind myself like the reason why I do these things and the reason why because like if my whole purpose of doing this podcast or like making music is to just like hope that it'll get big and then we'll get popular and like we make a lot of money out of it. The reason why I do it is because I want people to have a place where they can talk about the things that they haven't had like an outlet to talk about them, or you know, just where someone can feel safe to be vulnerable. And that's the whole purpose of this podcast. That's the whole purpose of why like I wanted to start this in the first place. Not what can I get out of this, you know? It's more of what can I give to other people.
So you're saying I'm selfish?
No.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm totally kidding. No, I guess getting goals realigned is always important. So, but yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for talking to me and having me.
Thank you for being on here. Thank you for saying yes.
Our first guest ever.
It's a very low standard, so whoever's
Andrew.
Andrew. Well,
Andrew hasn't listened to episode 1 or 2.
At least we'll have a new standard that's even lower. Totally kidding, Andrew. I'd never mean that.
Anyways, all right.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you for
so much.
being vulnerable.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the only thing we can ask of people on here. It's just that they be open.
So thank you for that. Thank you for giving us content.
All right, cut that out. Little blooper.
We're really just looking at how many ads can we fit in this podcast. And if you talk longer, that's more dinero, muchacha.
We actually have no ads, but if you want to sponsor us,
hit us up. Slide into the DM.
We don't even have specific brands. Like just anyone. Like Audible, you want to sponsor us? We're up for it. Anyone, please.
Anyone out there?
Echo.
But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening
and watching
and
just being a part of this process, and for all of the feedback and love and support. We love you guys.
Thank you.
And we're grateful that we get to share our hearts with you guys every week. So
before we close, I actually wanted to do something. Maybe we can make it like a thing for like every episode. I wanted to encourage Kieran. Say something encouraging. Maybe encouraging like say something like compliment her or something. Lift them up. I feel like that'd be a good way to end every episode.
I feel
just
like that would be cool, yeah.
Encouraging every guest who comes on here. So, what's our favorite thing about Kieran?
There's so much.
Why don't you go first since you're married to him?
There's such a small pool of ideas. I like that you're not always yelling.
I like that you're just a passive part of everything.
Wait, who is she?
Well, my favorite thing about you is the way that you believe in everybody, like genuinely believing in people, and not just this like, yeah, you can do it, like to everybody, you know. Whenever you're talking to somebody and they're like sharing something like their passion or whatever, you genuinely believe in them and you want to see them succeed, and that's my favorite thing about you.
Oh, that was really sweet.
You're so sweet.
I don't know how to follow that up. I feel like mine would be like similar. I feel like you're just like, you're so patient with people. So like, even when you're like,
I don't always feel that way.
No, but like I feel like maybe like more in terms of like music, when people are like learning or they're trying to like understand, you're not like I feel like you're so knowledgeable and you know so much and you're so talented, but you don't ever make people feel that way.
Yeah.
Like you don't ever like make people feel like, well, I know all this stuff and like you have to listen to me because I have more knowledge than you. Ha ha ha. You're always like so like understanding and like patient with people, and you're like, okay, like, you know, they've just never done this before. Like, I'm just gonna teach them the correct way to do this, or, you know, like come alongside them and like encourage them and tell them like, you know, hey, like you did a really great job even when like, you know, you don't really feel like it. And I feel like I get so much of that, like just like being able to like lead worship with you guys, and I feel like it's like so hard for me sometimes because it's like, that was so bad and that was so wrong. But Kieran's always like, you sounded so good. And I'm like, wow, you're so nice. You sounded so good.
I really needed that.
It's like I didn't think she'd give an acceptance speech. I don't try to encourage people that much. No, thank you guys.
But yeah.
That's really, really kind of you guys.
I know.
Cut that out.
You know how much sarcasm I was holding back?
God.
I feel like if you guys don't get our sarcasm, please go to our YouTube page and please watch our video, because our facial expressions play so much into some of the things that we say. And I feel like sometimes it doesn't come across in the audio recording. So just like at certain parts, if you feel a little questionable, just like pause and go over to YouTube and watch that video clip portion, because
we're very sarcastic and we know him like really well, so
They
we're
can
Giselle
really
sort of
comfortable.
knows him. Only a little.
Just a little bit. So we're really comfortable like being sarcastic like that, so just don't think of it.
Don't think
We
of
may be
it.
less sarcastic when we interview someone that maybe we don't know as well. So, or maybe we won't, and we just might hurt someone's feelings. I don't know.
And then they'll feel like it's not safe at all.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen. But
Okay.
all right. Well, we're gonna close it out. Thank you guys again. We love you, and we can't wait to talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.